Hi, everyone. Welcome to the yoga class. Namaste. Thank you all so much for coming. We're going to begin lying on our back in Shavasana. So on your back in Shavasana, close your eyes. Let your arms fall wherever they are beside you. Your feet are flopped. This is your moment, your time for rest and relaxation before the yoga practice. Feel your shoulders melting into the ground below you. We're going to do a body scan, starting with your feet. Observe how your feet are doing. Breathe light into your feet from the soles of your feet, up through to your ankles and your calves, moving up to your knees. Imagine your knees, breathing light and spaciousness into your knees. And up through your thighs, the front of your thighs, and then the back of your thighs, observing them, noticing where they might need a little bit of attention. Breathe into those areas. Moving up to your glutes and your hips, to your torso, the middle of your body, where all your vital organs are stored, up to your heart. Imagining your heart is a rose, and the petals of the rose are opening gently, breathing in love. Moving your attention out through your arms, starting with your shoulders, through your upper arms, down to your forearms and your hands, right to the end of your fingertips. Imagine light shining out from your fingertips. Moving up to your arms, through to your neck. Spend a little bit of time on your neck, imagining light and openness through the vertebrae of your neck. And the front of your neck is clear. Up to your head, the inside of your head, holding one of your most precious organs, your brain. Feeling clarity and light. Moving back to your heart, that rose with the petals opening, letting in love. Place your left hand on your heart and your right hand on top. And think of just one thing you're grateful for today. It could be as simple as your breath. Breathing that love and gratitude into your heart, into that rose. Perhaps you'd like to set an intention for your practice today. Maybe it is to move freely with happiness and joy. through your practice and throughout your day. From here, bringing your hands to your sides, wiggling your fingers and your toes, coming back to prepare for our practice. Rotate your wrists and your ankles. Rolling onto your side, forming a pillow with your arm. You can be in fetal position here. From here, push yourself up to seated. Meet me on the mat. You can be in hero's pose with your legs in front of you, or in Sukhasana, easy pose with your legs folded in front of you. I'm going to sit. Let's begin by inhaling our arms up to the sky. Breathing in and exhale down. Exhaling as you bring your arms down. Inhale your arms up. Looking up at your hands. And then exhale down. One more time, let's inhale our arms up. Let's clasp our hands, pointing our fingers, leaning to the left side, feeling that right side of the body stretching, feeling those ribs stretch, keeping the ribs separate from the hips. Take a nice deep breath here. And exhale, coming back up to center. And then coming to the right side. Feeling that nice stretch on the left side of the body now. Taking a few nice deep breaths here. Coming back to center. We're going to bring our arms down behind us, clasping our hands behind us. Our knuckles are towards the floor. Our shoulders are back, looking up. Coming back to center with your head. And then we're hinging at the hips, bringing our clasped hands behind us and lowering down for a forward fold. Slowly coming back up. Bring your clasped hands to the left side of your body behind you. And then turning your left ear towards your left shoulder for a nice neck stretch here. This enhances the stretch on the side of the neck here and onto the tops of the shoulders. Keeping our spine lengthened, shoulders are relaxed. Coming back to center with our clasped hands and our head. Feeling that stretch again, looking up to center above you. Shoulders are nice and back. Bring your head to center, bringing your clasped hands behind you to the side on the right side of the hips or the waistline, wherever your hands can go. Now we're going to bring our right ear now towards our right shoulder. Breathing, inhaling, and exhaling. Bringing our hands back to center. We're going to bring our left hand behind us, fingertips touching the floor. Inhale our right arm up, and then bring the right hand on the outside of the left leg for our twist, looking behind us. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, move into your twist. Looking wherever you can. If you can look behind you or beside, wherever your neck allows today. Continuing the in and out breathing. Coming back to center. Let's do that on the other side, bringing our fingertips of our right hand behind us, acting as a second spine. Inhale our left arm up, and then lowering that down on the outside of our right leg. Inhale, lengthen the spine, get it growing nice and tall. Your hip bones are still planted into the ground below you, and you're turning as much as you can for a twist. Inhale and exhale. And as you inhale, lengthen, growing taller. And as you exhale, move into that twist. Coming back to center, placing our hands on our thighs. We're going to go into a cat and cow from here. And I want to demonstrate this because you can do a cat and cow anywhere you are. You could be seated in a chair doing this. And so we're going to inhale, looking up to the sky, bringing our shoulders back, our chin up as much as we can, and our tailbone is back. Exhale, coming into an angry cat, bringing our shoulders together in the front. Our tailbone is tucked down, chin tucked into the chest, looking inward. Inhale again to your cow, looking up. And then exhale into your cat pose, looking, gazing towards your heart here. One more time, let's inhale. And exhale down. I'm going to turn, you can do that as well. We're going to move to the side here into our child's pose. So you can bring your knees separated a little bit and lowering down so that your hips go to your feet, your heels. And there are many variations to the child's pose. If you'd like to get an arm stretch here, you can extend your arms, place your forehead down. Or you could even be on your forearms, whatever is available to you today. Feeling that nice stretch wherever you feel it, your child's pose. Know that this is a pose that you can come to at any point during this practice if you need a break. Lift your hips now into our all fours, placing your wrists below your shoulders and your knees below your hips. We're going to do a balancing pose here. It's also called the extended bug. And so we're going to inhale our left arm up so that it's parallel to the ground or the mat. And we're going to extend our left foot and leg, and then lift the left leg at the same time. So it's opposite arm and opposite leg. And then we're going to crunch, bringing the elbow and the knee together. And then extend. Keeping your foot flexed, that means that your toes are pointed towards the ground. Elbow to knee. Exhale, come on in. And inhale out. One more time. Bringing that together. Extend. Place the hand down and the leg. Let's do that on the other side. Extending your left arm now in front of you and your right leg behind you with your tippy toes on the mat. And when you're ready, lift that right leg up and then crunch your knee to your elbow and then extend. Exhale down and inhale out. Coming back. Extend. Elbow to knee. And extend. Bringing your hand back down here. We're going to do our first downward dog or inverted V of the day. Curl your toes under, making sure that your fingers are nicely separated apart and palms are really planted into the mat. Your arms are straight, curling your toes, coming up to your toes, and then lifting up your hips all the way up for your downward dog. From here, you're looking at the front of your thighs, alternating your feet, pedal out your feet. Each sole of the foot can perhaps feel the bottom of the mat. We're aiming that way. From here, inhale, lift the right leg straight up to the sky for your three-legged dog, keeping your hips square. And then bend the knee and then stack the hips at that point, looking under the arm, the right arm. For a nice opening up of the hips. Coming back to center with that bent knee, bring that right foot in between the hands. From here, you're in a high lunge or a low lunge position. We're going to rise up to our high lunge. Right now, you're in a high crescent lunge. Let's lift up our arms straight up to the sky, or if you'd like to place them at a lighter angle here, you're more than welcome to. This is a variation of Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. From here, placing your hands together at heart center, we're going to do a twist. So let's take our left elbow, place it on the outside of our right leg for your twist. From here, you can look down or straight out or up, and making sure we're lifting the chest. Our back leg is straight. Nice. This is balancing too. Breathing here. Now, if you'd like, you can also separate your hands and opening up your arms to extend that twist. Bringing the hands back together in prayer, coming back up to center. Taking a nice breath here. Breathing. We're going to go into our Warrior 2 from here. Our left leg that's in the back, and place it so that the outer edge of that foot is parallel to the short end of your mat. So it's at a 45-degree angle, and the front foot, the toes are pointing towards the short end of the front of the mat. From here, we're going to separate our arms again into our Virabhadrasana 1, our Warrior 1. You might want to adjust your feet to go a little bit farther if you'd like to go deep into a lunge here, or you can keep it light with your feet a little closer together, however you're feeling today. You could look straight out if you'd like, or look along the edges of the fingertips of the right hand in the front of you. Feeling your power, relax your shoulders, and making sure that back arm is nice and straight. Perhaps bending the front knee. Take a nice deep breath here. Feeling that power, that Warrior 2. From here, we're going to take that back left arm and sweep it below us to meet the other arm. And we're going to bring a little bit more of our weight to the right foot in the front and going on our tippy toes on that back left leg. So we're about to go into our warrior 3. So from here, to make it easier, let's go into our hands to prayer. And we're focusing on lifting that left leg up as much as we can. And our body is like a lever, so that once as this left leg goes up, the front of our body goes down. So you'll form a T shape. So let's try that. This is also a balancing pose, perhaps focusing on a spot in front of you that's not moving, called a drishti point. And then as you come down, don't touch the mat if you can, and bring your leg forward. Let's do that again. Pointing that toe back. And then you can flex the foot here at that point. Again, come forward, not touching the ground if you can. And if you do, it's okay, just come back in. And then push back one more time. Really feel the strength in that right leg. Coming back to center. And shake that out. From here, we're going to go back into our warrior 2 stance, which is our right foot, toes are pointing towards the front of the mat, and we're at a 45-degree angle with the outer edge of that left foot parallel to the back of the mat. From here, we're going to clasp our hands behind us as we did before, really shining your heart here. Your knuckles are towards the ground. We're going to go into somewhat of an inversion here. It's called exalted warrior. So let's take an in-breath before we go down, and then we're going to fold at the crease of our hips right here, not bending our back, keeping our back lengthened and straight, coming halfway here for our exalted warrior. Then we're going to move in so that we are moving a little further down, and our right shoulder is beside right knee. You can lower your head if you'd like. And this is what makes it the inversion. Coming back up the way we came down. Now we're going to move our feet so that they are both facing front. The toes are facing front. And we're going to go into our Prasarita Padasana, which is our forward wide-legged fold. So from here, let's place our hands on our thighs or our hips. We're going to do that crease again where we're bending straight. Bending straight, straight, straight. And then as we go past that halfway mark, we're going to keep bending if we can. If you would like to place your hands on the mat or the floor in front of you, or even on a block, you can do that. And if you so desire to aim your head for the floor, you can. Breathe that light and spaciousness as you did before, earlier on in the practice, to allow you to open up to do the fullest expression you can in these poses. Continuing to breathe. We're going to come up the way that we went down. If you'd like, walking your hands up your legs, placing your hands on your hips if you'd like. Up to standing. And then you can heel toe your feet together. So we're going to flow to the other side and do all of that on the other side. So let's go to the front of our mats. Take a sip of water if you'd like, if you have it. All right, coming to the front of our mats, let's inhale our arms all the way up and around to the sky, and then swan dive down for our forward fold, our Uttanasana. So from here, you're doing a forward bend, maybe holding your elbows together. You could sway from side to side. You can micro bend your knees if you need to. Really opening up, feeling that spaciousness between the vertebrae. Placing your hands back onto the mat, then onto the shins, the front of the calves, for a halfway lift. And your back is like a tabletop. We could put a bowl of fruit on your back right now. Straight. Lowering down. Plant your hands onto the mat, bending your knees as much as you need to do that so that your full hand is on the mat. And step back with your right and your left to your high plank. From here, we're staying here for a little bit, lowering the hips a little bit. Feeling that nice strength in the upper body. From here, you can go down to your knees if you'd like, or you can just lower down, keeping the elbows close to the body for your chaturanga. Flatten your feet, coming into your Sphinx pose on your forearms, looking up at the sky. Bringing your hands again beside your chest. Curl your toes under. We're going into our downward facing dog. Here, let's inhale our left leg straight up to the sky for our three-legged fold, three-legged downward dog. Bend that knee, then stack the hips and look under your left arm now. Stacking the hips means that you're opening up the hips. That's it. Beautiful. Coming back to center with your leg, keeping it bent, looking to the space in between your hands. You're going to put your left foot in between your hands. And if you have to use your other hand to get it there, you inhale up to your high lunge. Remember, here we lifted our arms up to the sky. Or you could have them here, wherever you need them to be. From here, coming into your prayer pose. And we're going to take now that right elbow on the outside of the left leg for our twist. Chest, looking up to the sky if you need to. First, outside, straight out. Keeping that back leg straight. Coming back to center. We're going to go into our warrior two again. This time I will move, stay where you are so you can see me. Our front toes of our left foot now are facing towards the front of the mat, and our outer edge of our foot, of our right foot, is facing the edge of the back of the mat. From here, adjust accordingly as far as far apart you want your feet. You're going to bring your arms parallel to the mat. And you can lean into this, just making sure your knee doesn't go past your ankles like this. Relax the shoulders, keeping that torso nice and straight. Arms are straight. Looking along the edge of your left fingertips now. Taking breaths here, feeling that power that you have. You're demonstrating your power in your legs and in your arms and in your core. keeping you straight. From here, we're going to take that right hand and right arm and sweep it below us to meet the left. Coming up onto our tippy toes of our right foot now, coming into prayer. Let's do our warrior 3, our Virabhadrasana 3. We're going to lift our right leg this time into a T shape using a point on the ground that's not moving, our dristi, turning into a T. Our body is a T as much as we can. And then coming down into our standing one-legged bent knee, trying not to touch the ground with our toes of our right foot, pushing that right leg back again. Feeling the strength of our left leg now. And every side is different. See how you feel. If you come out, just come right back in. And then shake it out. From here, we're going to do our exalted warrior on this side. So our feet are in the same position they were when they were in warrior 2. So 90-degree angle for that back foot and the front of the toes facing the front of the mat for our front foot, our left foot. From here, let's clasp our hands behind us, bringing our shoulders back, our knuckles towards the ground, looking up to the sky. Then we're going to bend at the crease of our hips. We're folding forward, keeping our legs exactly as they are. And now your left shoulder, the outside of your shoulders on the inside of your left leg. You can lower your head if you'd like. Or exalted warrior. Coming back up to standing. From here, bringing our feet together. This time, we're not going to do our Prasarita Paddanasana or forward fold or wide-legged forward fold. We're going into our goddess pose. So our toes are as comfortable as you can, maybe making them at 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock in the way that the toes are pointed, or you can make them go at 9 and 3. And whatever will support you. And your feet are about 3 feet apart. We're going to go into our goddess. So this time we are just lowering down into a squat. Kind of get your bearings, maybe going from side to side, wherever your feet will hold you, keeping your spine straight. Your tailbone is tucked under slightly. And your arms are in goddess arms or cactus arms here. And see how low you can go. How low can you go? Now, if you'd like to challenge yourself, perhaps alternating going on your toes, lifting your heels. Can you raise both heels without falling? And if you can't, just come right back in. This is a challenge. I think the mat helps too, depending on the type of mat that you have. From here, bringing our hands to our hips, we're going to heel toe our feet together. How are your legs loving you right now? Okay, we're going to do another flow to the ground. So coming up to the front of our mat, inhale our arms up to the sky and exhale into our forward folds. One dive down, hands to shins for flat back. Coming back with our hands firmly planted on the mat, bend your knees if you have to, stepping back with your right Then your left leg for your high lunge. From here, feel that power that your upper arms have. If you need to go down to your knees, go right ahead. Otherwise, lower down your whole body, elbows close to the body, flatten your feet, coming onto your Sphinx pose, looking up, hands back beside your chest, curl your toes under, downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up to the sky again for three-legged dog. This time, bending your knee and bringing your knee so that it's behind your right wrist and your foot is in front of you. Lower that left leg down, flatten the feet. You're in your pigeon pose here. Look behind you to ensure that your left leg is straight. Ease into this. Let's look up to the sky on our fingertips. Nice. Feeling our hips sinking lower and lower as they get adjusted to this posture. Then coming down, perhaps onto our forearms. You can stack your fists so that you place your forehead on your fists. And if that works well for you, you'd like to try one fist, try that. See what works for you. Maybe you want to extend your arms and place your forehead on the mat. Staying here for a few breaths. Notice how you feel. Breathing light and spaciousness into any areas that need it. Now coming back onto your hands. Curl your toes under behind you so that your toes will be able to support you. And we're going to lift off, lift our knee, and then lift up higher to accommodate that other leg back to your downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up, straight up to the sky. Bend the knee, and then bring that left knee behind the left wrist for pigeon on the other side. Flatten out your feet behind you, your right leg. Look behind to make sure that your right leg is straight behind you. You can go on your fingertips here and really feel easing down, your hips down into the mat, looking up to the sky. Lowering down onto your forearms. Stacked fists, if you'd like, here. Noticing this side might be different, depending on you, however your body allows for you to do. Remember, you can always go into your child's pose at any point if anything is too much for you. Coming back up, we're going to actually roll onto our seat. So just placing that left hip onto the mat and sitting down behind you with your hands behind you. So I'm gonna swivel so that you can see my legs. They're both at a 45-degree angle right now. And we're gonna do some windshield wipers. So bringing the knees over to the right, and then over to the left. It's opening up the hips a little bit more. Coming back onto your mat. We're going to lower down very slowly. So we're going to do this in 5 breaths. So it should take you at least 10 seconds to get down to your mat. So keeping your spine nice and straight, arms beside you, in front of you. They will be beside you as you lower down. Taking 5 nice relaxed breaths here. All the way down to your mat. Coming down to your mat, your knees are bent. We're about to go into bridge. So just bring your feet close enough to your fingertips so that your fingertips can graze the back of your heels. So just do that adjustment if you can. So we're going to now lift up our hips to our bridge pose. Taking a nice deep breath up here. And then lowering down. Moving into our Ananda Balasana, or happy baby. So we're going to bring our bent knees up to the sky. And you have a couple of choices here of how you want to hold on to your feet. You're going to be holding your feet or your calves. So putting your fingers into peace pose, peace fingers, you're going to take your big toes and curl your peace fingers around your big toes. And then bringing each foot back so that the sole of the foot is towards the sky and your knees are towards your armpits for your happy baby. Now, if you want to have a variation of your hands, you can also place your hands on the outside edges of your foot, of your feet. That's another variation of happy baby. Or if you'd like, you can even just keep your hands on the outsides of your calves. So in happy baby, you have to be happy. So you have to smile in happy baby. And you can rock from side to side, not feeling any cares in the world. Massaging your lower back, your upper back. Taking nice, big, deep belly breaths as you rock from side to side. From here, bring your legs back together and then your feet onto your mat. Extend your left leg in front of you with your right leg bent. Grab a hold of the front of your shin with your bent right leg. From here, pull your shin towards your body. And as you inhale, release it. As you exhale, bring it a little closer to you. I always like to lower my chin a little bit here so it opens up the back of my neck. And play around with this if you want to bring your shin close to your right shoulder or your left shoulder or just your chest. You can try all those variations. See what works for you. From here, take your left hand, place it on the outside of your right leg, and we're going to guide your right leg to the left of your body. Placing your right arm straight out beside you like a T and looking over towards your right arm. Feeling that twist and breathing. Both your shoulders are planted into the mat. Coming back to center. Extend your right leg, bringing up your left leg now. Bent in front of you, clasping your hands in the front around your shin. For wind reliever, we're going to pull that leg towards us on the exhale, and on the inhale, filling up the belly, releasing, so you leave room for the belly to grow. And then you're relieving the wind by tightening the belly as you exhale all that air out. Again, you can experiment with pulling that leg towards your left shoulder, keeping that other leg planted in the ground, and then perhaps towards your right shoulder and center. This time, take your right hand on the outside of your left leg and gently guide that left leg to the right side of your body. Extend the left arm out beside you, looking towards your left arm. Planting both your shoulders down into the mat. Feeling that twist. Taking some nice deep belly breaths here. I love it when I hear the breathing. Coming back to center. Hugging both legs towards you, nice and tight. In fact, we're going to really do a tightening exercise here. So we're going to tighten every single part of our body, including our face and our legs and our arms and our feet, everything. So we're going to do that. Tight, 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 everything. Feel every muscle of your body tighten, and then release it back into your Shavasana. Take some deep breaths here. Again, your arms are at a comfortable space from your body. Your chin is slightly lowered. Again, feeling your whole body melting into the mat. Your legs are flopped wherever they are. And you're breathing. Coming back to that rose. Letting in love. Staying right where you are. This is your time for you. I am neither too much or too little. I do not have to prove to anyone or anything who I am. I have come to know that I am the perfect expression of the oneness of life. In the infinity of life, I am content to be who and what I am at this time. I do not yearn to be like someone else, for that is not the expression I chose. I am sufficient. I am the one with all of life. There is no need to struggle to be better. All I need to do is love myself more today than yesterday, and to treat myself as someone who is deeply loved. As I am cherished by myself, I will blossom with a joy and beauty that I can barely begin to comprehend. Love is the nourishment that humans need to fulfill their greatness. As I learn to love myself more, I learn to love everyone more. Together, we nourish an ever more beautiful world. We are all healed, and the planet is healed too. With joy, I recognize my perfection and the perfection of life. Coming back to your intention, carrying that intention with you throughout your days. Now coming back to your space around you, again, wiggling your fingers and your toes, rotating your ankles and your wrists, rolling onto your preferred side with your arm like a pillow again. When you're ready, you can push yourself up to a seated position, meeting me on the mat. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out and sharing your practice today with me. Namaste. Thank you.